Um, no, I don't send. I just if people want in, they can join.
All right.
I asked them. Anyways, we're live now, so um, I thought about doing the. Oh, yeah, since we've been talking a lot about um, where we had the director, no, John Apatow, here.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, let's go to the most relevant part here, where he talks about Ghostbusters. Here, what's your opinion of the internet's reaction to the new Ghostbusters movie? And he says, I would assume there's a very large crossover of people who are doubtful. Ghostbusters will be great, and people are excited about Donald Trump candidacy. I would assume they are the exact same people. That movie is made by the great Paul Feig and stars the funniest people on Earth. I'm excited. I think people have paid too much attention to just some angry trolls that will be judged on its own greatness. I don't think anything really matters. I think it does. The movie comes out and it will be great, and people will just be happy to have it. It's not like anybody really cares about a couple of idiots who hold onto the idea that things never evolve. I think, we have our past, and if you can come up with a new cool way to do something, then that's exciting, and hopefully it will make a lot of people happy. So, what do you think?
Uh, from what his standpoint is, he's pretty much comparing, people who are dissing on the movie Donald Trump supporters. This is what something like Matt touched upon in his video, where they use that argument just to paint people who or think critically that this movie is not going to be great as you know like supporters of Donald Trump, when it's kind of dumb you think about it, because the generalization they're painting, what's it, Abadell is painting people who are dissing on the movie as that it's just another defensive wall of this narrative. There, most people who are like the PR machine that's trying to defend it, pretty much.
I don't even know why the director here is trying to lump people who hated the trailer with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
It's he's trying basically to shame people, not just Donald Trump supporters or voters, but also people who vote who don't like the new Ghostbusters, and trying to lump them in with each other and use the guilt by association.
yeah. And you see a lot of people who are like in the same clique as Avondale is right now, using various tactics of using this narrative. They're painting people who are dissing on the movie, thinking that they don't like it as misogynistic, woman haters, or like what Apatow put in this article, Trump supporters.
Yeah, it's I think what he's implying by mentioning um the Ghostbusters haters is basically that anyone who dislikes the trailer or the new Ghostbusters are not only racist but sexist as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot for people who are defending the movie, both on Twitter and social media and whatnot.
I don't even get why. Um, I just see this mentality of where industry just tries to. I mean, just look at the new. You heard about the X-Men poster thing, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Where with Rose McGowan, where she basically says that anyone the Fox who made the poster for X-Men Apocalypse are misogynists, which I don't even get at all. It doesn't make any either. It's a buzzword these days.
It's just a clique of people who use who directs entertainment for these type of people, like the clique mentality that you have social justice warriors and feminists. They're not going to really watch the movie. They're just going to bitch and whine behind the computers and think it's just enough for a day. And they won't. They don't watch movies. They don't watch entertainment. They don't play games. They don't do anything but bitch and moan. And that's what they're doing right here.
It's the outrage culture. Let's go through the other article of uh, to everyone. Um, and here Rose McGowan is slamming Fox using an image of Jennifer Lawrence being choked by a male villain as a billboard to promote X-Men Apocalypse. The billboard shows Mystique in the titan grip of Apocalypse. In one of the final scenes of the movie, there is, and here is her actual quote: "There is a major problem when the men and women at 20th Century Fox casual violence against women is the way to market a film." Hollywood Reporter. There is no context in the ad, just women getting strangled. The fact that no one flagged this is offensive and frankly stupid. Behind this, and I use that term lightly, need to take a long, hard look at the mirror and see how they are contributing to society. Imagine if it were a black man being strangled by a white man or a gay male being strangled by a hetero. The outcry would be enormous. So let's right this wrong. 20th Century Fox, since you can't manage to put any women directors in your slate for the next 2 years, how about you at least replace your ad? With the text my friend sent, a conversation with his daughter, it follows. My daughter and I were just having a deep discussion on the brutality of that hideous X-Men poster. Her words, Dad, why is that monster man committing violence against a woman? This from a 9-year-old. If she can see it, why can't Fox? Yeah.
Okay, first off, that's just not one of the many people that Apocalypse strangles. In the one of the final trailers for X-Men Apocalypse, you have Apocalypse like strangling who was it? What's that guy? It's the tip of my tongue right now. Quicksilver. Yeah, Quicksilver. So not only Quicksilver gets strangled in the movie, you have also Mystique as well. So why are they arguing as Mystique as being the only one strangled when almost everyone else in the movie possibly gets strangled? I know Quicksilver gets strangled because they showed off in the final trailers of the X-Men movie. So why is the outcry even here?
I mean, it's not just the her getting strangled. I mean, all the guys, all the movies in the series, guys and women get their asses beat, and some even get killed. And this is kind of the most interesting thing. Here, a black man being strangled by a white man, or a gay male being strangled by a hetero, the outcry would be enormous. No, it wouldn't, because nobody, feminists wouldn't give a shit. It's only because it's a woman. How many posters are there with guys bleeding or punching each other or shit like that? It's just because she's a woman, yeah, because women are protected. Would you is the best word I could put it.
Yeah, much.
I just don't get this whole mentality that um I also I'm not probably gonna be able to find it, but the with AP Associated Press where they interviewed uh what there were several actors and they're basically, yeah, feminism is all right, and we need to promote women in Hollywood and shit like that. Yeah, it seems to be like the trend these days that you should just I don't know what your impression is of Hollywood.
Mm.
I want to hear what the chat has to say because I know they have usually stuff they have to share. So if you you guys have anything you wanna share in the chat, I'm gonna be reading it up. Um, uh, Otherwise, I think we kind of covered that. Is there anything you wanna add more to that kind of stuff?
Um, this is pretty much feminists trying to hook, line, and sinker another movie into representing their clique, really.
Yeah, I hear the whole representation thing as well is a thing, and when I watch a movie, I don't need the hero to be a white male or a to begin with. If there's a movie that's good, has compelling actors and storytelling, I want to watch a good movie. So um, this whole getting offended shit is getting so stupid.
Yeah,
She just could have turned her head and not watched the movie.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Passion from the chat says, "Nice Gundam, bro."
Uh, it's not a Gundam. It's just an avatar. I just decided to put it on for my social media and whatnot.
Okay, random Fedor.
No, it's from a comic I kill.
Oh, okay. Um. Oh yeah. Did you read about the IGN and the feminist frequency thing?
Oh no, I did not heard about that. I heard of like
I
small snippets, but I'm not. I haven't grasped the full story of that.
kind of read it up.
All right.
I have it here somewhere. I believe I had it bookmarked. Find it. Bear with me, guys. Where is it? Here it is. The title is "How Feminist Frequency is Helping Women, Real and Fictional."
Oh boy.
Archive. Use archive. Don't want to give them clicks.
This is already sounds like one hell of a shitstorm.
Yeah. I call them out on this in the comment section. One of the editors of IGN is basically white knighting So let's go through the article. See how it says IGN staff. It's not it's plural. Several people writing this. Okay. Critic Anita Sarkeesian started feminist frequency with one goal: to make criticism, particularly from feminist perspective, an easier subject for anyone to grasp. She recalls being in graduate school and finding feminist theory alienating and not as accessible as she felt it should be. Driven by her passion and desire to bring feminism to a wider audience, Sarkeesian began using feminist lens to evaluate subjects related to her: video games, entertainment, and pop culture. Being a fan was a very nice fit for me. Sarkeesian told IGN in a Skype interview, "I'm going to take things I love critically and talk about them to engage a wider audience." Sarkeesian points to scholars like Bell Hooks, who use examples drawn from pop culture better better relate and educate students in an effort to make feminism and gender studies more grounded and familiar properties. Ah, at the time, video blogs and YouTube were beginning to gain traction in the public eye, and Sarkeesian saw the format as a great way to engage people in a digestible manner. Eventually, her work led to the formation of a video series Tropes versus Women in Video Games, a series seeking to explore, analyze, and deconstruct some of the most common tropes and stereotypes of female characters in video games. Versus video game, versus Women has explored multiple subjects, including violence against women, use of women as decoration, and stereotypical archetypes like the infamous damsel in distress, frequently found in video games and other forms of entertainment media. And then they go on to shill her new series. One sec.
Oh boy.
So Keynesian work has caused her to become a major figure in games criticism for her hyper focus on representation and portrayal. And now, with the second season of Tropes versus Women wrapping up later this year, she's in the process of shifting her focus to an all new video game series called Ordinary Women. A series dedicated to celebrating the lives and accomplishments of great women in history. Is a series Sarkeesian has placed on the back burner for some time, focus on tropes versus women, and building the feminist frequency organization. But she feels now is the best time to bring it to fruition. I pulled it back out from years ago. I said, okay, given my audience now and the current political climate and the online climate in general, what can this project be and what does it look like have the most impact, she says. This series, Sarkeesian and her team want not only tell great stories about female inventors, creators, and innovators, but also take lessons from these women's lives and evaluate how they're applicable today. I really think it's important to tell stories these women have who have been written about history. If they're just a quick, if they're really written out of history, nobody would have known who they were. Anyways, she says, mentioning how many prominent female figures have been omitted from conventional history lessons and relegated in the background. With ordinary women, we're saying no, that's not true. Women have always been doing incredible things above and beyond because they have had to overcome so many odds to get to do the things they've been able to accomplish. It's a history lesson and a connection to the things we face today. So Keith noted that tropes versus women has had difficulty drawing in a younger viewers due to the graphic content not suited for the maturity level. With this new series, she wants to create something people of all ages can appreciate and learn from. I really want to bring young people back into my audience. One of the few things that happen in tropes is that the episodes got really dark because there is an enormous amount of violence against women and really awful sexualization. Some things that are not age appropriate for younger members of my audience, she says. So bringing them back in where are total appropriate for multiple age groups. We can bring them into an elementary schools and high schools and colleges.
Oh God.
Thing I think people of all ages can really find enjoyable. Um, Sarkeesian also hoped the series help provide creatives with inspiration when writing female characters. And I spent the last several years talking to game designers and creative people and fans about games, how to tell stories and how to do respectful representation. You recall where she recalled, and I often hear men say, "Well, I don't know how to write women. Women in the 1800s were oppressed, so they can't be the stars of our game." He points out how it's easier to accept time travel and high fantasy in a game than a leading female character. I want this series to have is to show creative folks alternative stories to tell. So using women's stories as an inspiration to be like, whoa, look at what these women have done. I can totally write stories about on this or women who would do these kinds of things. According to her, one of the most difficult aspects of criticism people to understand is the notion of being able to enjoy something while also taking issue with some of its portrayals and approaches or representation. Tearing things apart, she explains a critic means saying it is mostly good or mostly bad, or some combination thereof. I think people struggle with this idea, being able to hold multiple nuanced positions. She says it's similar to the way we have relationships with other human beings. Friends or partner don't anger you sometimes, but still care about them. The Sarkeesian's critiques of video games and pop culture are brought under great and under during scrutiny, resulting in toxic harassment extending as far as threats on her life. She's been the target of multiple smear campaigns, has made appearances on television multiple times, speaking on behalf of harassment survivors and her missions to educate people on issues. That's kind of rich when she went to the UN about her criticisms. Anyway, she served as an advocate for survivors of online harass- my God, of online harassment and has worked with multiple organizations and social media companies to help make safer spaces for open discussion to be heard without fear of vitriol and backlash. But when asked things have improved, Anita's answer remains the same. No, it hasn't gotten better. That's not noting we still receive abhorrent messages on various online outlets daily. The harassment and granted that those of us targeted pay, it doesn't sorry stop just because we stop talking about it. She says change does not happen by magic and progress is not inevitable. We have this myth in our society that progress just occurs and we don't need to participate in making it happen. A critical mass is needed to make change, Sarkeesian argues, in order to shift ideas and create a climate where ugly practices such as harassment are discouraged. People in safe positions need to feel comfortable. She specifically mentions Twitter, acknowledging the recent steps they've taken to help discourage harassment and make the social media platform a safer place through safety and various symposiums. Saying that is because we have been fighting to get them to do it. She says, we've been telling our stories and the media has been covering them. We've been pressing a larger conversation around it to make that change happen. It's equally important to support survivors of harassment. She adds, survivors? You're a survivor if you crash or a war. Jesus Christ. by first recognizing the ugly effects people have when they're the target of it. Understanding that harassment is trauma, those of us who are targeted have traumatic responses to it. So that will vary from person to person. Sarkeesian explains, and the best way to support and aid them in difficult times is to first listen and be open to their needs, validating their experience and understanding their experience, not trying to fix anything, but being there for them, and giving them a place to feel safe and meant are the best methods. Readily acknowledges difficulty and persevering through significant opposition and harassment, pledging to continue her fight. I don't know any other way, she says, her efforts and continued creative process. Do I just sit back and not do anything to fight for liberation? This is bigger than being harassed. This is a bigger issue, and if I can use my platform to help create change, make it so that one other woman online isn't harassed, I will do it. Change happens. She says we struggle, we might not see change in our lifetime, but we still do it for the betterment of the world. Yeah, that's pretty much the entire thing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm gonna get something to drink, but what do you think?
Okay. First thing I want to point out on the second page. What was it? Go down a bit, Andrew, on the screen share.
Sorry, I just needed to get something to drink. My mouth is
Oh,
getting pretty dry.
I'd like that to point out something. Can you go down a bit on the archive a bit?
Which just say stop.
Like right there. Hold up. See, it says right here on the other influence I want to see in this series is to show creative folks alternative stories to tell. If I like to argue that if she is putting a Kickstarter for historical women on her series, why is it says to show their story, and then it says here show creative folks alternative stories to tell for that series?
I don't know. But let me go.
Pretty much jumped the gun right there, pretty much right there. Yeah, and another thing
Um,
too, why does she want a younger audience when most of her audience are like 26, 30 people on the internet who just
I
bitch
know.
and moan all day?
There's a sinister reason behind it. She wants to go through Common Core and basically brainwash kids to believe this shit.
I know. I saw this a while back too, and it's fucking scary. And her wanting to have a younger audiences, both at like, I don't know, age 4 all the way up to from the elementary level, the high school level, and then the college level, where they already have most of the college level, but anywhere younger, like, goddamn, it's just plain damn straight brainwashing.
Well, let's you see. This is the part where they discuss her video series. Tropes versus women explored multiple subjects, including violence against women, the use of women as decoration, stereotypical archetypes like the infamous damsel in distress, frequently, but nowhere through this half of this page, nowhere is it mentioned how long she used to get her series done. She's not even done with it. She's not even halfway from all the videos she promised and her Kickstarter. All her sourcing for her videos are so poor, and there is no mention of her stealing footage, lying about the games, cherry picking them. It's conveniently just not added in here. There is no fact checking whatsoever. This is what you call listen and believe by IGN fucking staff. It's not just one guy or woman. It's entire side is behind this. It it's really concerning when the biggest fucking site on the internet is defending her any opposing or balancing views whatsoever. Pasham says, I was just waiting for her to call her fans comrades. Yeah. Um, and here, just saying that she's become a big or a major figure in game criticism. Um, her ideal character is a blank fucking slate. It's the Scythian or whatever it's called. You remember that, right?
Um, Being that character that she tried to do and like shill it through her channel.
Yeah, well, the game itself, I believe, isn't that bad, really. But her ideal character, because she's always criticized games for being misogynistic or portraying women in a bad light. And then you have Scythian, who's supposed to be the ideal female character. You don't even know that she's a female is because it says in the wiki or something somewhere in the game. So that's your ideal freaking. And here, which we kind of discussed. I pulled back from years ago. Okay, given my audience now and the current political climate, I think what she is referring to here, right here, is because people are getting fucking sick of her shit. That's what she's and Gamergate really is what she's talking about right here.
Yeah,
Isn't that what you think? Why she kind of pulled out of gaming?
when she already has with the new series.
Um, Here we go. In this series, Sarkeesian and her team want not only to tell great stories, female inventors, creators, innovators also take lessons from those women's lives and evaluate how they're applicable today. But isn't that the job of historians? I mean, you could probably it and find out information. But she needs to do a video series. There's probably documentaries as well on this subject. Here, this is the kind of really important part here. I really think it's important to tell the stories of these women who have been written out of history. This,
I like how she's doing a series of women on history when they're already known on history, and she says they have been written out of history. Like, forcing herself mentally that they don't exist and they have to present it, which is
I
like
mean,
some really schizophrenic kind of shit right there.
yeah. I mean, if let's say if there was something they had discovered recently, um, they found out like several female uh, queens or whatever warriors, and it came to light. I could understand someone wanting to do a video series on that, but because it's recently been discovered. But this doesn't make any freaking sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
History is just what everyone knows about them. Anyways, and here women have always been doing incredible things above and beyond. I mean, we already know that we know there have been female rulers in history and leaders, but we have Cleopatra, we have Queen Victoria and such and so on and so on. And, it's a history lesson and the connection with the space today. But yeah, here we go. The young crowd bit, drawing in younger viewers due to graphic content. Or it's because these young viewers called her out on her bullshit. Because it's usually um, younger people who play games. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, uh, everyone from 3 and 4 and up basically mostly play games, and that's mostly guys as well are the main main people who mostly play games, not just on their phones or iPads. Already been established. So the graphic content is such bullshit because her viewership has gone down during the series. So does it's just a lazy excuse that her previous series isn't getting enough clicks.
And not only that, she was Macintosh purposely editing the videos to make it so that it is violent.
Yeah. Here, Pasham in the chat. Yeah, gotta get them while they're young, you know. Yeah. Here, let's see. Against women really offer sexualizations and some things that are not age appropriate for whatever. So bringing them back in where these are totally appropriate for multiple age groups, and we can bring it to elementary schools, high schools, and colleges. It's something I think people of all ages can really find enjoyable.
No, no, they won't.
See, this is the problem. Well, it's not about even telling facts or sharing history, which we already know they're part of history. It's they want to spread their agenda and colleges.
They already been doing that with colleges, but
Well, yeah,
but
call it like the Paul Mizu University. Um, I mean, we've seen the crap that's been happening.
and
We have also in England
look what
Goldsmith.
happened to that too. The dramatic
Huh?
effect that happened to colleges like that. You have dropout rates increasing from colleges who are doing this as well. For a Mizzou
Yeah,
example,
because no one wants to go there.
um,
Who the hell would want to go to the universities where the speakers and teachers there are getting yelled at because it's not a safe fucking space?
yeah, exactly. It's stupid.
Here, this is a kind of a dangerous part right here. I spent the last years talking to game designers and creative people and fans about how to make games and how to tell stories and how to do respectful representation. And I often hear men say to write women or women in the 1800s were oppressed, so they can't be the stars of our game. She half jokingly points out how it's easier to accept lifestyle and high fantasy in a game than a leading female character. The other influence I want this series to have is to show creative folks alternative stories to tell. What does that even mean?
Well, art right now, she's already trying to influence multiple game developers. You had her go to Sledgehammer Games, Bungie, the developers at Firewatch, even like put her name on the end credits for her inspiration. You know, that influence is already there.
Yeah, and the game she's talking about, I know which game she's talking about right here, is the Assassin's Creed Syndicate. uh, I think they added the female character because of Anita Sarkeesian and other people because of the outrage of Unity. This right here, creative folks stories, creative folks alternative stories to tell that fit these people's narrative. So again, when this guy said, I don't know who this guy is or if it's even true. Um, I don't know how to write women. Um, to for this person to just write men and write them well instead of doing a half-ass woman and force it into the game. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's just shoehorn characters just to suit their narrative for people who don't even play games.
Yeah, and we saw it. Syndicate did worse than Unity in sales.
Yeah.
They're taking a break this year by not releasing another Assassin's Creed. So they're idiots. To think that catering to these people makes them money. Using these women's stories as inspiration to be like, wow, look at these or what these women have done. I can totally write stories based on this or women who do these kinds of things. Um, yeah, I don't even know what to say to
Yeah.
that. If people have something to say in the chat, just go ahead. I gotta say, I'm getting some Catholic priest vibes from these kid-friendly campaigns. Yeah, that's a good point. Um,
Praise to your Lord and Savior, Anita Sarkeesian.
According to her, one of the most difficult aspects of criticism for people to understand is the notion of being able to enjoy something while also taking issues with some of its portrayal and approach. See, this is the biggest issue I have. Article right here, when it comes to games. Um, why should you be critical of portrayals and representation in games? Uh, uh, have just a few things they want checked when they buy games. Most people, okay, for those who want single player games and they buy the game for good characters, good writing, good story, and then you have the people who want graphics and decent music sound. That's about what people want. That's not a big list. And portrayals and representation is not one of them.
It's mainly because she's arguing from like a social standpoint where is this socially right to have this set amount of men as main characters or have this amount of people oppressed or whatnot. See, that's why most of her arguments cannot really interject the games. That's why she's kind of so difficult because you really can't. Games are is supposed to be creative. That's what most people are looking for. The gameplay, like you said, the story, and is well written, and the gameplay. No one is gonna go buy a game for, oh, they have a woman as a main character who's also trans, who's also this, and whatnot. Like, no.
I mean,
It's
if people really starving for female-led games, Mirror's Edge and Remember Me would have sold bonkers, which they didn't. Remember Me sold like I believe it was like 100,000 copies or something in the first week.
oh damn, that's bad. And it looked like
Yeah, that's
it looks
crazy.
like an interesting concept at the time too, but yeah,
Just a quick review to give you an impression of the game. It has really interesting story. The platforming is boring in that game. The combat is a little bit bad, but it's a 7 out of 10 ish. Not great game. Um, People weren't like starving for this. Sites like these, GameSpot, IGN, Polygon, Kotaku, and all these sites that bitch and moan about female representation and female protagonists and shit like that. You see a good game, 2013. People like that freaking game because it had good gameplay, had a good story, had good graphics, and had good sound and voiceover and stuff like that. The criteria for that game were fulfilled. They even sold more for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One when they released it. So there is no chance in hell that female-led games aren't welcome. It's just fucking retarded. It's just people look at the criteria they have, which are those four main pillars, that from what they see in tone of the game.
Yeah.
That's it. Here, a critic does not mean tearing things apart. Yes, it does kind of. It means, I mean, a critic is supposed to deconstruct something, and I mean, reviewer is a critic, and it should deconstruct the game in game journalism, deconstruct game mechanics, story elements and characters, graphics, and sound. To tell if those all work, what works, what doesn't work.
Mm.
Saying a critic means saying it is mostly good or mostly bad, or some combination thereof. I think people struggle with this idea. This is a fucking retarded statement.
Yeah.
Of critiquing shit. It's just a matter of being able to hold multiple nuanced positions. It's similar to the way we have relationships with other human beings. Not like your friends or your partners don't anger you sometimes, but they still care about that. It's kind of rich coming from her when she's preaching about holding multiple nuanced positions.
Mm.
That's fucking rich. I don't know, because from the aggressive left, what do you think?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add right there?
Um, the only thing I'm gonna add is, um,
Oh, your mic.
you know, yeah, I'm pretty much done there. We can continue on.
Um, and here we come to the harassment, which also is freaking retarded. So Keynesian's critiques of video games and pop culture have brought her under great and enduring scrutiny, resulting in toxic harassment extending as far as threats on her life. She's been the target. She's the one screaming about the threats instead of police handle them. I don't even know if she's uh, reported anything to the police. So.
No, she's just only saying that just to give her a platform.
Yeah, and she's so harassed that she's on television and multiple conferences speaking on behalf of harassment survivors. Can you be a survivor of harassment?
You don't. If you have to be a survivor, you have to, like, I don't know, be in a car crash, like you said, or I don't know, be in a burning plane and be the last one alive with multiple burn wounds and still survive.
Attempted murder, like shit like that, where you're health was in serious risk. Some mean fucking words all over the internet is retarded. Yeah, we can do that later, Passion. Um, she served as an advocate for survivors of online harassment and has worked with multiple organizations, social media companies to help make safer spaces for open discussions to be heard without fear. That's fucking rich. Advocating for safer spaces while also discussing saying it's for open discussion. That's fucking retarded.
You see, they'll have their safe spaces, but they say open discussion, knowing it's going to be limited. So, oh, we speak, but only this token black guy could speak. Only this white Asian could speak. Oh, you're gonna have to wait, wheelchair guy. You have to wait. You're gonna be the third person to speak. Pretty much there, right there.
Well, it's not just that. It's the right kind of token people. If you're a white guy, well, fuck you, because you were born with that skin color and you couldn't do anything about it. But if you're a minority and you don't have certain opinions, you're not welcome either. So
The progressive stack in a nutshell.
yeah, basically, and this two-faced that help to help make safer spaces for open discussion. It's a paradox. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Make someone safe all the fucking time, like never leaving your home, but never experience some kind of danger when you leave your house. When you leave your front door, your risk of uh, being talked to or even dying goes up way. So, and she said it hasn't gotten better, noting she still received abhorrent messages on her various online outlets daily. Yeah, it's not like she uses the block bot of so harasses like myself.
And me.
Yeah. So I don't know if people who are watching this are on the blog. Sorry, on the blog bot. The steady harassment and that those of us who are targeted face, it doesn't just stop because we stop talking about it. Change does not happen by magic, and progress is not inevitable. And we have this myth in our society that progress just occurs, and that we don't need to participate in that's non sequitur. What she says here. Um, A critical mass is needed to make change in order to shift ideas and create climate where ugly practices such as harassment are discouraged. We know her. Oh, here we go. Harassment is trauma, which is fucking hilarious. Um, we already know her definition of harassment. In front of the UN, saying or criticism is fucking harassment because they're not using the legal definition. That's for sure. Just chime in. I'm just ranting here.
Um, Pretty much, her base argument is just pretty much using that just to get herself ahead. Really, I like how she says like ugly practices such as harassment are discouraged when she herself uses harassment as a platform for herself to get ahead, such as the UN and such and such.
Yeah, she is so harassed that she's literally drowning in fucking money.
Yeah.
How bad she has it. She specifically mentions Twitter acknowledging the recent step they've taken to help discourage harassment and make their social platform a safer space through a safety council and various symposiums. Well, we know because she's a part of that fucking council, so that's why. And we know the EU is now trying to censor shit because of so-called hate speech. So fuck right off with that shit.
Well, you saw the hate speech article that both Facebook, Twitter, and Google and YouTube were getting into to
Yeah,
fight hate speech. Oh my
yeah.
God, it's fucking golden.
I'm not. My country isn't part of the EU, but it's gonna affect me in some way if this is gonna go through. It's oh Jesus Christ.
It's going to
Um,
set an ugly precedent for everyone involved.
they're getting their fucking safe space in Europe, which is so retarded. Um, the reason Twitter is doing that is because we have been fighting to get them to do that, she says. We've been telling our stories and the media has been covering them. We've been pressing a larger conversations around to make it happen. The, it's not even it's not even a conversation, it's ordering Twitter or blackmailing them into shit.
That and serve ourselves a platform when really no change has happened, and the only change that happens with her is just getting pretty much more money.
Yeah. And here we go. Understand that harassment is trauma. Those of us are targeted have traumatic responses to it.
Oh my God.
Oh, Twitter gave me PTSD shit. This is you can literally close or shut off your computer and go outside and live in the real fucking world.
I know.
Because there are people starving, people dying of diseases and hunger. There are people dying of war and poverty and oppressive shit. And this is what they're bitching about is the harassment on Twitter is fucking giving them trauma.
Oh God. Uh,
You have Saudi Arabia right now who would kill feminists because they aren't they don't have a well we could call feminism belief. So basically, they will be killed in Saudi Arabia, and they want all Muslims to the same oppressive people. They want to like follow these people. Not that all Muslims are fucking equal, which would be an figurative statement, but having the same laws and religion, Sharia law and shit like that, that's what they want, which is paradox. Validating their experiences and understanding their experiences, not trying to fix anything, but being there for them, giving them a place to feel safe and vent are the best methods. An expert on psychology and sociology now. Occasion readily acknowledges the difficulty in persevering, difficult of decision and harassment mentioned in her fight. General and way her efforts urges to fight masculinity or fight for liberation. Way to free. I mean, is there any? Are there any right?
Andy, I could barely hear you. I think your mic is muffling or something.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
Oh yes, that's much better.
Um, yeah, because there are literally there are no rights that women don't have in the West, which they which men have. I mean, they're equal. So saying she's fighting for liberation is, I don't know who she's trying to liberate.
A blanket statement.
This is a bigger issue, and if I can use my platform to create change to make it so that one other woman online isn't harassed, I will do it. Oh, social change happens. We struggle when we might not see change in our lifetimes, but we still do it for the betterment. But what changes? Because you never go into a specific fucking details. Oh, is there energy she wants? I don't know. Even know. Here Pasham says, I think the funniest thing about Sarkeesian's that she most likely fucked someone to get where she is today. Yeah, probably. I mean,
Yeah, I guess probably. I don't know. Probably
but
Macintosh.
oh, yeah, why not? Well, um, but this whole idea that that this site is this one-sided shit of her defending her and not even fact-checking shit. It's getting them on your nerves, and this is what I mean by unethical. You just represent or present something, like Pesham says. IGN presents the Sarkeesian Chronicles, which is basically it's one-sided. There are no opposing views or arguments. It's shit.
Yeah, they're just doing this pretty much to preserve, what they're trying to do.
I just get frustrated by this shit. Um, I don't know if anyone has any from the chat has anything to add about this article. Um, let's see. There is one question. You guys got an opinion on Undertale. There was some progressive stuff, but it didn't bother me much. Um, I'm gonna. You mentioned Overwatch, right? And Kershaw.
Yeah, through the Skype chat.
We did a stream on this subject, which kind of got contentious. Yeah. Um, I don't really mind if someone like gets inspired, because I don't really want to censor people. If they like a person that I don't like, they should still be able to create whatever they want. Um, when you add your agenda and specifically make it part of the game, like say Beamdog did with Baldur's Gate, or other game did something. I can't off the top of my head remember any games that have anything similar. But when they have token characters and excuse it when people criticize it by saying it's misogynistic and shit like that. That's where I have an issue. I always use Dragon Age Inquisition as a good example, even though people might disagree with me. Um, I think the transgender character were written very well, and some of the gay characters were written very well. No, I think believe there were only gay characters and one transgender. I might be mistaken, and there was one bisexual. Um, Other than that, I always use that example. Is there, any games you can like having progressive stuff in it?
Crap. I games so long as they keep the merit as gameplay, story elements, the characters, and everything else in between, all the bread and butter, I don't mind them putting in like token characters so long as they're written well. Just that is make it so they're not blatant. Like for example, Battleborn there's like one line that Oscar Mike does, and it's like just shoehorned in there, and just like makes absolutely like just ramming in a quote like that. What was it? This is normally when Oscar Mike only kills like female characters. I'm trying to remember the quote here. I'll probably just look it up here. Give me a minute.
As I've said, I don't really mind progressive uh, writers or developers, whatever. Um, don't insert your politics in your writing or in the game to like check something off of your progressive shit. So only thing Undertale, I don't really know that much of Undertale. I heard like people on the regressive left and gamers like the game. So if it's a good game, it's a good game. That's all I care about when it comes to games.
Yeah, like how Overwatch is. Like they have a couple token characters, and they even though Overwatch doesn't have like a story, but mainly a story like outside the game, like through its trailers, they are really fun to play with, and that's like the only thing they have going for.
Yeah, I mean, well, we also had Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which was supposed to be in like 1863. I might be mistaken. You gotta correct me. I don't. I won't bother looking at the freaking date right now. But for some reason, there's a transgender character in there when historically, I believe there weren't any transgender character until like the movie Danish Girl, which was 18th century, I believe, like 1903 or something. I think they were like transgender. I think they were just considered gay back then. Mistaken, I'm not a historian or something like that.
Why does it smell like burning here? You guys burning something?
Hold
Yeah, I
up.
see you.
Um,
That was my dad. Give me a minute.
he has some Pesham, yeah, Undertale's character pretty well written, I'd say. They get their time to develop everything. Just mention it because it's a better example. Yeah, again, I don't really mind when if progressive. I mean, No Man's Sky. That guy is supposed to be like part of the progressive or regressive branch. So I don't really. If No Man's Sky is great, then that's awesome. Yeah, no, might as well look at the positive side, you know. Yeah, I mean, make a good game, and I don't care about politics. It's when the media pushes Depression Quest as a second coming, and Revolution 60 as the greatest game ever, when people freaking hate it, and you have Baldur's Gate, and the journalists are defending that crap. That's just gets on my freaking nerves when the media just defends that crap. They're unethical and breaches of conflicts of interest and shit like that. So,
Yeah, they mainly just push games within their clique to get a hit or miss like that. Like what IGN is doing, pretty much. They're just avoiding their clique. as to some who are actually talented. Very rarely from that bunch, from the regressive left. You know, if there's like a
Like,
character that's written well, you rarely see, you know, it taking off, being really well developed or whatnot. All right,
I
I'll be
mean,
right back. Do something.
yeah, I'm just gonna talk a little bit. Um, well, see, the scary thing is that most of the media or gaming journalism right now, they're on the left side, and they're in this clique where they control the news, like we see in Games Journals Pros, and they um, they control what the media or how they're gonna rate shit, like GameSpot did with GTA 5. They called it misogynistic. Um, like of what goes within the medium, and when an article like this, uh, it doesn't have any opposing views in the entire gaming media. There are smaller sites, of course, but you won't see GameSpot, you won't see IGN, you won't see Polygon, you won't see Kotaku, you won't see Game Informer. Well, Game Trailers never really fit in, but they're out of business anyways. Um, you see all these big sites, uh, Eurogame also to a certain degree, and I don't really have an opinion of um but they're defending or sharing one-sided views on things, and they're basically doing the same thing Fox is doing. Um, and I freaking hate Fox News, but when I see myself agreeing with some of the views on lately, it just scares me when I do that. When I somehow tend to agree with conservatives, which is freaking scary. Which I would not consider myself a conservative compare in the American standard. So, anyways, I don't know if anyone has any questions in the chat. Otherwise, I think I'm just gonna stop. I didn't want to do a really long stream today. Um. Oh, you're back,
Yeah, just take out some groceries and whatnot.
huh?
I just had to take out some groceries.
Okay. You have to go closer to your mic. You're kind of.
Oh, sorry about that.
I can boost your mic.
Oh, sweet.
Um. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say about the gaming media? Because that's what I talked about.
Currently, it's been the same old clique that's been trying to push this narrative since like 2010, 2011, around there. Most of the people who browse the internet are getting sick and tired of it, mostly gamers, especially in the gaming media, which is why we got to push the new alternative media, such as like Niche Gamer, GameSnosh, Tech Raptor, those kind of stuff. Before,
Yeah.
these old giants continue to push this narrative and sway the people who don't know what's actually really going on.
I mean, I kind of said this, but it's basically a clique of people with a certain political view that are controlling the gaming news, and scary when such a small amount of people can control the message, and uh, they basically get all the info first and can twist it a certain way.
Yeah, it's normally all the village idiots that speak the loudest and the majority.
Here, apparently they censored the hell out of some Fire Emblem Shin Megami yeah, they Fire Emblem. They what's the goddamn name of that? They censored because an IGN defended it, of course, because it insinuated rape, which it never did. It's basically an elixir where one the protagonist saw everyone reversed in gender, and there was something else they censored, but I can't remember. So yeah, yeah, conversations and shit like that. So they removed entirely. So yeah, any last words really you wanna say before we close?
It's been fun. Had a great time.
Okay.
Especially too when
Yeah, even
seeing
though
sports events. It's kind of one would say getting worse, but you know, people are trying their best. Stop this kind of shit from getting anywhere anyway. So yeah.
chill your Twitter or something.
Just like a shameless plug. No, all right, that's fine with you. All right,
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
if anyone wants to contact me, you could contact me via Twitter at XX capital W HY underscore capital D IE underscore capital NOOXX, and that's my Twitter at. Or if you want to play with me on PS4, I normally play like Warframe, Overwatch right now. It's pretty fun. You know, you hit me up on that same at because they're both the same name. And that's pretty much it.
All right. I see Pasham still in the chat. He has to get on stream sometime, right? I said he asked, so yeah, we have to get him on stream sometime. Yeah. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.